Okay, so what you want to do when you put this together is you want to divide your pieces up by color, and you want to pick a color that's going to be what I call your band color. So it's going to make like a belt around the middle. And these colors I'm going to choose yellow because it's bright. So you set that one aside, and you take one of each of your other colors, and you're going to put those together to make a ring. All right, the way you do that, the way I do that, is I start with a piece in my left hand. I pick up another piece, and its pointy end goes into the pocket of the piece that's in my left hand. Then the piece that I just put in becomes the destination piece. So I put it in there and I turn it. So I pick up the next piece, I put it into the piece that's in my left hand, and then I turn it so that piece is waiting. Pick up the next piece, put it in that pocket, turn, put in the fifth piece. You have to go back to the first piece and flip it up over on top of the last one and get that pointy part into the pocket so that it makes a ring. Okay? And you turn it over. I always turn it over. And you take one of each piece again. One of each color. And now, just like we did in the other two things we made, you're going to follow your color pattern. So if I look at the bottom of this, right here I've got blue going into red. So I'm going to pick up my blue one. I'm going to make it go into the red one. And as soon as it does, if I keep the flaps on the outside, the brown one here wants to go into the blue, so I let it. Turn to the next side, I've got orange going into blue. So I put orange into blue. Red wants to go into orange or peach or whatever you want to call that color, so I let it. Turn to the next side, I've got green going into peach. So I'm going to put green into peach. Come on, green. The blue wants to go into the green, so I let it. And one of the ways that you can tell if you're doing it right, I turn to this last side, second to last side. I have brown going into green, and I still have a brown one left. Brown goes into green, peach wants to go into brown, so I let it. And then when I get to my last side, I need a red to go into brown, and sure enough, I have a red piece left. So I put red into brown. Green wants to go into red, so I let it. Okay, so you're kind of building a bowl. So you got this bottom part, right? Then you put the next row in. The next row, we're going to use one of each color, and we're going to use all the yellow, right? Both in this next row. So I'm going to take one piece of each color again. And the hardest part of this is the very beginning because you can't really, it's hard to tell where the yellow is supposed to go. But I turn it and I look for my color pattern again. And so when I put this first one in, I've got brown going into blue. So I put brown into blue, but there's not really much that wants to go into anything else. If I put the blue into this brown, right, that's not right. So that's kind of how I know, oh, I need my extra color. So I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to put it into that brown one that I just put in. And when I do that, now magically the peach wants to go into the yellow, so I let it. Okay, so I turn to my next side, and I've got red going into peach. So now, when I put red into peach, yellow wants to go into red, so I let it. And since yellow went into red, I need a new yellow. Yellow goes into red. Then the green is going to want to go into the yellow, so I let it. And I turn to my next side. I've got blue going into green. I put blue into green. Yellow wants to go into blue, so I let it. What do I need now? What do I need now? Nope, yellow just went into blue. Put yellow into blue, so yellow goes into like twice. The brown wants to go into the yellow one, so I let it. Right, I turn here. Now I've got peach. I want peach to go into brown. So I put the peach into the brown. The yellow wants to go into the peach. And if yellow goes into one side of the peach, yellow's got to go into the other side of the peach. And when I put that in there, the red wants to go into the yellow. So I let it. Now I've got green going into red. Green's the one thing I have left. Put green into red. Yellow wants to go into green. Yellow wants to go into green. And then this is this, let's see, blue one's gonna go into yellow. And then the yellow goes back into the beginning. It goes back into the brown from the beginning. And then you do 2 more rows where you follow the colors. You want to be careful on those last 2 rows that you let it get smaller, because it's really easy to make it get bigger. Yeah, so you want to be careful to make sure like you're building it back in like that. Okay? All right. I'm gonna hurt your feelings. Okay. If you watch the video, it should show it from behind.